Hey John. Overall, nice job putting this together. So since I really haven't seen this develop, I haven't been able to give you much feedback. So it's kind of a lot of feedback. I hope you have time to work on it. First of all, none of these objects look like they're from the dump. They all look new. In fact, I'm going to turn this off. The background is way too complicated. You can see you can't see anything really. You can see the Huggy box a little bit, but everything else just recedes into the background. It doesn't really stand out enough. So I'm going to turn this off. So I don't know what this is. I would get rid of this. So basically, these just don't look really like they're integrating well together. It just looks like a box on top of a skateboard. It doesn't look like a caricature really. So it's I would really, if you have the time before Wednesday and if you want to pass the class, I would highly suggest just spending a lot more time on this. I would suggest having a look at the video that I posted. This video is right here. It's also in the announcement, but this is in Milestone 5 Task 2. So you can click on it. It's also in the announcement. So I would really suggest looking at this. It'll really clue you in as to what's expected in regards to the caricature. As you can see, this is the problem when haven't really seen what you've been doing, is that you don't have any feedback. So again, this is the toy one, but notice the background and how the caricature really stands out. Notice how each part integrates well with the form. It really needs to. This is a pretty big project, right? This is the whole class, so it needs to really, more time needs to be spent. Again, notice how all of this integrates well. This one too, and notice the text. You really need to stick with the text that the client wants. You can't just make your own up. It's very important to follow client specs, because in the real world, that's what you're really going to have to do, or you just won't be able to continue to work for clients, because they really have specific specs. So you can't change the type. You can't really change any of the main specs. So again, you need to really use the same one. Let me see if I can find a garbage one here. Again, notice the background and how everything really stands out. So yeah, I can't find the other one. So I would really have, I would suggest watching this one. Let me go back out here. So the background, again, is just too strong. So, I mean, there's things you can do to it. You could use a levels adjustment on it, and you could, try to bring it down. Try to make it look like, it's lighter. So that doesn't really work. So we'll see what it would look like if we make it darker. Yeah, see, you need a simpler background with more negative space, so you can see some of this stuff. So this needs to go, and this caricature, this text needs to really stand out a lot more. It needs to be bigger, maybe up here. And again, I wouldn't use this kind of fancy, cute font. I would definitely you can look at dafont.com, and there's so many fonts here that, even like eroded. I mean, again, there's just tons of fonts that you can use to really work, to make it look like it fits in with the, with what you're doing. There's tons of this stuff. Just make sure that, again, it's much better to have the font legible, than to have it look cute or something. Okay, so you kind of have a lot of work to do. You've got your layer masks in there. I'm just gonna. Where's that background? Let me zoom in on them. The layer masks need some cleanup and stuff, but again, I would, this is really, really sloppy through here. So that's really not going to work. You kind of have a lot of work to do if to get enough points. So this is super sloppy. So again, I mean, I understand you probably did all of this stuff in a couple days, and it's like this is like a 5.5 week class. So I mean, it's understandable that I know you didn't have much time, but again, I can only give points when the requirements are met. So I would suggest really going back and looking at all those, looking at the, let me see if I can find the rubrics. Each week I post these rubrics, and they're also in the announcements. So if you open these, you can really look at, and this is the first assignment when I told you you didn't add any of the additional elements. So if you look at this is all the stuff that's expected here, and this is what you're getting graded on. So I would study it and look at it. I was hoping that you looked at it before. And again, if you go back to, if you go to the announcements, you can see, I have it here too. So again, for example, week 4. I talk about the text and see, again, this isn't readable. That's kind of what you have. So for the textbook exercise, this is all the stuff you need to add after you do the lesson. And the files you turned in, you didn't add all of this stuff. So it's going to be a pretty, you're going to get probably half off, or, earn half credit for that. And again, here's for week 4. This is everything that you're getting graded on for that week. Background allows caricature to stand out. Background appropriate, blah, blah, blah. Each week there's a whole one of these, and this is the same thing that's copied into the grade book. So this is really exactly what I'm grading on. So, this really needs to be followed. Okay, so anyway, overall, I think that this is okay for what, for the time you spent, but I think if you want to pass the class, you're going to need to do quite a bit more work on this. Those lessons, you need to go back and look at what you have to add. And again, it's right here. It's everywhere. If you go to the task 1, you really have to read it. Once you have finished the lessons, make the following changes. So you have to change. You have to follow this. You can't just, anyway, just be sure to read everything. This is probably some of the last feedback I'll give you. If you email me or you tell me you've posted another version, I'll give you some more feedback, but it's really late and there's only 2 more days in the class. So I hope you can, pull this off, and, if you have enough time to spend on this. Okay, so anyway, overall, for putting this together pretty quickly, I think you've done an okay job, and I know that, I understand your situation with the computer and stuff, and that kind of stuff just happens. So, okay. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'm on Google Hangouts. You can talk to me live, so if you want to set that up, that's probably the fastest way to contact me. Okay?